So as promised, I'm going to record the session, just the parts that I covered content. So let's talk about what the goals of the presentation or the PD was, not only to show you great AI tools, but to use those AI tools to transform lessons, kind of shying away from the traditional questions, because based on feedback that you provided during the PD, we all agree that there's a concern for cheating, a concern for accuracy, and a concern for our concerns will be justified during this presentation. If you follow these tools, you'll be able to take your lessons and change them a bit so that students will demonstrate more their learning, which is what our goal is, hopefully. So the first thing I talked about was tips for getting organized, tips for using AI in general, finding the right tools, making sure you get organized with those tools, and master one tool at a time. Now, I want to remind you, the reason I said master one tool at a time is because the AI tool actually gets to know you. So the more you use it, the more it understands, and the less prompting you have to do because it knows exactly what you're looking for. Now, what's the downfall to that? There's limits to the free versions. So sometimes not logging in, and I know this was unclear to people, but not logging in allows you to use the tool more often with more prompting revisions. And that's something you can't do once you're logged in because it'll block you to pay. But everything I'm showing you is free. You don't have to invest in anything. Investing is a personal choice if you want to move forward with that tool. So finding the right tools, I gave you this graphic, and I do want to mention that this graphic may have some AI tools that don't even exist. They may not have made it because realistically, some are overpowering. I'm going to focus on these, and I added here for you what you would use each for. So ChatGPT for everything. Magic School is ChatGPT for teachers and students, and it helps you with prompts, which is a big problem when trying to decide how to use it. Canva, amazing for presentations and interacting with your students. Chrome extension is Brisk, which I'm gonna show you a little bit about ChatGPT, Magic School, Brisk, and Question Well. And then I talked about what these are. And Gemini is the ChatGPT of Google, and Copilot is the ChatGPT of Microsoft. And what that means is, if you need AI in your life and you're willing to make the investment and you're a Google user, that means you use your email, you use Docs, you use Slides, you would probably be best choosing Gemini. If you're a Microsoft person, like you use Outlook, you use Word, then you'd probably want to use Copilot. I'm not going to talk about these, but I wanted to mention that because it's something to consider. All right, so getting organized. So the first thing you want to do, for me, I think it's just easier. We are a Google school. We have unlimited Google storage, and we have Gmails. So if you search for something on Google, then when you find it, you can sign in with your Google. So every AI tool asks you to sign in. If you sign in with your Google, you don't have to remember your password. And then you benchmark and bookmark them. That way you have organization of the AI tools you've been looking for, and you don't have to search for them every time you want them. And this is a guide on how to install and manage Chrome extensions, but I will show you one time in the video. So I'm actually going to remove this extension so I could show you how to do it. So I'm going to go to Brisk, and I always search for it on Google, just to search. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add to Chrome again, add extension. And then I'm going to sign in with Google. I don't have to remember my password, and I'm already in. Now, I added that to Chrome. How do I pin it? You go 3 little dots at the top, extensions, manage extensions, and then you click on details, and you scroll down, and you pin to toolbar. Now I have it there, and you need that there, because if not, you have to always go to manage extensions to find it. If you want to use Brisk, all you do is click. And if you notice, let me go to any web page. When I click Brisk, it pops up right here at the bottom. Okay, and that's what you want because you want to be able to use that tool easily. If that bothers you, you just click again and it goes away. Now, how to bookmark. So let's go to ChatGPT. Actually, I'm going to do Magic School, but you could do the same thing because I already have ChatGPT. Do the same thing. So you go to Magic School, and I want to bookmark this page. I'm not going to log in yet, but I go here, and I go to Bookmarks and Lists, and I bookmark this tab. Now, it automatically calls it Magic School. You could rename it. You can put it where the other bookmarks are, or you could put it at the bookmarks bar, which is up here. Or you can make a folder, which is what I mentioned. I said I made an AI folder, and I bookmarked that way. Okay, so that's how you would bookmark, and then you can organize your bookmarks. A reminder, the goal of today was to let AI help you take your traditional book assignments, your traditional workbooks, using Notability for everything, and making lessons that will demonstrate that students, if they did use ChatGPT, they're demonstrating to you that they took it to another level. They made it their own. They revised questions, and I'm going to show you tools so you can monitor revision. They use visuals to describe words, so that shows that they understood what they needed to show you. And I know that grading this might be a little difficult. So if you don't want to do that, then use these tools. And this is nowhere in today's PD, but if you need to learn how to use these tools, use Apple Classroom, use Moodle, use Lockdown Browser. If you need your students to learn 5 important questions, those important questions need to be learned for students to move on, for students to show that they learn. You need to use something other than the traditional questions because they're copying and pasting and they're using AI to get the answers, and that's not learning. So it's our duty to do these things. But who has time? Nobody. So I'm going to show you tools that are going to help you do that literally by blinking, okay? With the proper prompts is the first thing. So I went over how to create prompts for transforming 5 questions, how to create prompts for transforming 1 lesson, how to create prompts for a unit, how to create prompts for assessments, and how to revise prompts. And I'm going to talk about this again. I want to remind you that I would use, my 2 choices are Magic School and ChatGPT for this, for all of these. Magic School because it's a teacher tool, ChatGPT because Magic School uses ChatGPT, so it just does everything. But if you use these and you want revisions, you'll get blocked after a while. Once you start revising, it'll say, if you want to keep revising, you have to buy the tool. So keep that in mind. And all you have to do is get out, start over, revise your prompt, and reprompt it. So don't ask it to revise this. Just revise your prompt, and you'll be fine. Or, like I mentioned, I use ChatGPT without logging in. And when I really want to dive into something and I know I'm going to ask for revise, and it gives me as many revisions as I want. So that, I hope you understand that. If not, remember, you can come and see us. All right, so this was a prompt guide that I gave you. I'm not going to go into prompting ChatGPT because we did that together, but this is the prompt guide. I always want you to refresh that URL because we're going to keep updating this. So transforming important questions, transforming lessons, revising prompt, follow-up assessments. I don't know if you were in the first session, if you even got this one. Changing questions. You might have not gotten this one either. And then all these additional prompts that you can explore. And this could be an ongoing document. I'm going to add this to AMHS faculty. And I'm giving you this whole presentation anyway, so you'll be able to use anything on this guide. So I'm going to jump out now and show you this process. So taking a assessment, five questions, let's say 10 questions, and 10 questions is really the max because QuestionWell on the free version has a 10 question max. But just think about it as doing 10 questions at a time. I'm taking a test, and I think I have another guide here. Yeah, this is actually better. I'm taking a test. I'm going to ask Magic School or ChatGPT to revise this test. I have a prompt for that. Then I'm going to copy and paste those questions into QuestionWell because QuestionWell will export that test for me into Canvas, or into any formative assessment tool. So it creates a file that will import into Canvas, quizzes, Kahoots, whatever. So you're taking tests and then transforming them. Mind you, a good teacher, the best classroom unit planner is make the test first. Then you could make revisions to the test, and then you can ask Magic School to make unit lessons for you based on that test. Okay, so the more questions you feed it, the better the unit plan is going to be. So keep that in mind. But when you export, you can export it. You could choose Canvas, and I'll show you what the export options are, and I'm going to show you this process. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go first. I'm going to show you that this was a test that I got from, if I could find it, recents. Okay, this. And look at the format of this. It's absolutely terrible. I actually kept this, Death of a Salesman, in this way, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. So I went to Magic School, and I'm going to go here. And sometimes it's hard to find tools because look how many they are, but questions is the tab. So I click on it, and then I'm going to make a multiple choice assessment. So I'm going to click there. And this was for 12th grade. The more you feed it, the better. I'm going to do 10. Even though Magic School lets you do 20, Question Well only lets you do 10. And then you can add the document. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to add the document. And then I'm going to add the prompt. So I'm going to go to my AI prompts, and I'm going to go here to this prompt. You are an export. Wait, I'm going to copy this, and I'll fix it in Magic School. So you are a teacher, English teacher, trying to make different version of a test for students that are taking the test in the afternoon. Use the document provided and make whatever. Now, this is what I mean by version, because some of you are like, I have versions. A scrambled version of an assessment is what you give one period. A different version of an assessment is what you give another period, like afternoon. A period to C period, you know, you might have an A to C and then ACD, and then afternoon you would call it whatever you want. At least it's something, okay? And then you could change it up. Maybe give the same kids A in the afternoon and switch it up in the middle. It doesn't matter as long as you have a different version. And then you generate. Now I'll show you what AI gave me before so we don't wait. So I go to output history because it already did it. And by the way, I just made another version. It won't even be the same. It gave me this. I had Debbie. Oh, this is my protein synthesis. Sorry. Let me go to output. The Death of a Salesman was, I might have deleted it, but here it is. I had Debbie proof this, review it. She said it was good. I'm not sure if it's this one, but I want you to know that I asked her because I wanted to use an English example, but I also did it with a science example, and it gave me an answer key and I didn't even ask for it. Okay, so then I'm going to take these questions. And remember that format was terrible. It gave me a better format. And I'm going to go to Question Well. And if you notice, it already did it. Okay, but I'll show you how I did it. I'm going to leave that open so that I don't lose it. I'm going to log in. And I'm going to say 10 multiple choice questions. I can prompt it right here. Okay, but I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to paste them here, okay? Generate for 12th grade English and save. And then I'm going to generate questions. Now, remember, it takes a while. So I already did that. And this is what it populated, okay? The questions perfectly organized. And then I go here and I say export. Oh, by the way, it also gave me a little guide here on the side, learning outcomes. I mean, it gives you more than you even asked for. So you press export, select all questions, export and assign. And these are the options you get. Canvas, Google Forms, Kahoot, quizzes, Gimkit, Blookit, Quizlet. Come on. You could just transform your whole class here. 10 questions at a time. And by the way, I want to say Quizlets, making 10 little, making little Quizlet decks for each objective. Like everything you teach on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday helps so much with student learning instead of the big deck. So keep that in mind, how easy it could be right here. Okay, and then you export to Canvas. And then when you go to your downloads, you'll see this, which I already probably deleted Debbie's, because I started to delete it. But this is where you get a zipped file, okay? Don't touch it. You just leave it. If you rename it, and I'm going to actually practice this, and I'm going to call this 3.21, just so I could see what it looks like on Canvas, because I was a little bit confused about that. And then you go to Canvas. Let's go to Canvas. I don't have it up. Yeah. And I'm going to go to my bio course. Even though I was doing Debbie's, I'm going to do mine. And I go to import course content, which is right here. And then I'm going to select QTI, because that is the file that QuestionWell delivers. And I'm going to create a new question bank. And I'm going to title it Evolution. I want to see if it comes in as this name or it comes in as the name of the file, because I was confused about that, and I'm actually going to practice it with you. So I'm bringing in the 3.21, but I'm calling it Evolution 3.21, and we'll see what it comes in as. You see the zip file there. And I don't want the new quizzes, but if you do, you click that. I just want the old quizzes, so I'm going to click here. And then it queues, and if you notice, this was the file I brought in before, and it's a fact, it named it that, not the name I gave it. I brought it in several times, and now I'm bringing in the 321 zipped, and we'll see what it comes in as. Okay, it takes a while, and I want you to know, even though I renamed it, it came in again as the Molecular Bio Fundamental Quiz. So it came in as the original name file. I'm not sure if I can explain that to you, but that's what happened. So that is how you transform your assessments, okay? Step-by-step guide here for you, and I'm giving you that presentation so you'll have it. The next thing I want to talk about is Brisk. And somebody asked, well, why choose Brisk over Magic School? They're just different. And remember, Brisk, to me, if you use Brisk with any Google Docs, YouTube video, Google Slides, you're going to be able to do things that are not normally done. So I'm going to start with taking a Brisk Google Doc, YouTube video, sorry, and I'm going to create a guided notes from it. Now, mind you, I record my lessons. This is my YouTube video. But you can do this from any YouTube video. You can also use the YouTube video to create assessments. So you can follow the same steps and choose a different tool. You can use a YouTube video to make a lesson. So if you find this great YouTube video on a lab, you can create the guided notes for the lab. So, I mean, there's just so many options. So I'm going to open this video. All right. I'm going to pause. I'm going to click on Brisk, which is already open here, but I want to show you, remind you, that when you click, it goes away. So when you want to use it, you click, it appears. You click on it. You're going to click the word create, and you're going to make a guided notes. But here's all the options. You can make a quiz. You can make a rubric. Look at all the endless opportunities. So guided notes. And then I'm going to Brisk it. And as you saw in the thing, it's actually going to make, and I might have it here, already made, here. It's going to make a guided notes for you, okay? Which honestly, I'm going to play around with all these tools now, because the fact that I could take that lesson and possibly make a lab out of it is just great. All right, the other thing you can do, and again, step-by-steps right here, is monitor feedback, which is this, okay? Or monitor revisions. So I'm going to open this doc. I'm going to go to Brisk. Let me refresh the page. And I'm going to inspect writing. And then the video starts. It tells me everything. You saw that like the student clearly typed something here and made an edit. Watch. Yeah. Which is great. But the problem lies in, and I'll wait for it. It's about to happen. And again, because I've already inspected this writing, right there. This is a student that copied and pasted. And again, if you go to the Google Docs, natural selection scenario, and you go here and you look at revision history, you know who wrote that, okay? So you could call that person up and say, listen, I need you to make this into your own words, remind them of the consequences of, obviously, it's guiding them. Our biggest concern is cheating. They're going to use it. Guide them on how to use it properly. Show them that you have the tools to monitor what's happening. The other thing you could do with the Google Doc with Brisk is click here and click give feedback. And I'm very curious to see what that is, but this is what it'll do. It already knows because I prompted it to check for specific accuracy. And then it'll start to give me the positives and negatives of what was done in this document. I can insert, I can copy, I can edit, and provide the student feedback. I could call them up. It just doesn't matter. All the options there. And again, think about this for a research paper, for an essay, for a conclusion to or answering of questions. It could be anything. And that's it. Oh, this last thing, and I don't think all of you got this in your session, so I'm just going to mention this. I've been using my Canvas gradebook for and letting ChatGPT kind of organize data for me, like show me somebody that has more than 4 missing assignments so that I could target those things really quickly. Obviously, you can go to your assignments total and look at the grades. It's so easy. Show me somebody that's been failing on my test, all these. But this was what I did the other day to go over the test, actually. I exported my gradebook. I chose only the test assignment, and I prompted ChatGPT to organize the groups based on grades, organize into groups of 4 so that each group has a student with an A, a student with a B, and a student with a C, and a D or whatever. And that way, they sat together to go over the test, and it wasn't always just the A students and the C students going over the test together. It was a mixture of them. And I had them discuss the questions that they wanted to ask me. They had to have a conversation about it first. So it was a great way to watch them collaborate on test questions, watch the high-level students explain content to a lower-level student in a different way than me, and maybe makes more sense. So good luck. Remember that Tech Mentors office is in the iLounge, and if you need help implementing any of these tools, you know where to find us.